Imagine waking up one morning to discover that your retirement savings, which you've worked decades to build, are about to take an unexpected hit. That's the reality facing over 9 million state pensioners in the UK as Labour's proposed retirement tax looms on the horizon. But what does this really mean for you and your family's future? Before we dive deep into this critical issue that affects millions of families, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay informed about the latest updates on retirement policies and financial news that impact your future. The announcement of Labour's new pension policy has sent shockwaves through communities across Britain, particularly among those who've spent their lives contributing to the system. But why is this being called a retirement tax? And how did we get here? As we explore this complex issue, we'll uncover the real implications for current and future pensioners, analysing both the immediate and long-term consequences of this policy shift. Think about this: how would a significant change in pension payments affect your monthly budget? What about your elderly parents or relatives who depend on their state pension? These are questions we need to address. And today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about this controversial policy. To understand the full scope of this situation, we need to look at how the current pension system works. The UK state pension has traditionally been a cornerstone of retirement planning, providing a basic income for millions of elderly citizens. Over the years, it has evolved through various governments, each putting their stamp on the system. But this latest proposal represents one of the most significant changes in recent memory. The current system, implemented in 2016, was designed to provide a more straightforward and fair approach to state pensions. However, Labour's new proposal suggests a fundamental shift in how these benefits are calculated and distributed. This brings us to our first important question: what exactly is changing under the new proposal? The proposed retirement tax isn't actually a direct tax in the traditional sense. Instead, it represents a significant modification to how pension increases are calculated and implemented. Under the current system, state pensions increase annually through the triple lock mechanism, which ensures payments rise by the highest of three measures: inflation, average earnings growth, or 5%. Labour's new approach would modify this system, potentially affecting how much pension payments increase each year. This leads to another crucial question: how much money could pensioners actually lose under these new rules? The calculations suggest that the average pensioner could see their income reduced by several £100s annually compared to what they would have received under the current system. Let's put this into perspective with real numbers. Currently, the full state pension stands at £203.85 per week for those who reached state pension age after April 2016. Under the existing triple lock system, this amount would increase significantly each year. However, the new proposals could mean smaller increases, effectively reducing the real-term value of pension payments over time. This raises an important question: who will be most affected by these changes? The impact won't be uniform across all pensioners. Those solely dependent on state pensions, particularly single elderly individuals and those with limited additional income sources, could feel the greatest impact. But it's not just current pensioners who need to be concerned. Future retirees might need to reassess their retirement planning entirely. The government argues that these changes are necessary for long-term economic sustainability. But is this really the case? Critics point out that pensioners have already faced significant challenges in recent years, from rising energy costs to increasing healthcare expenses. This new policy could add another layer of financial pressure to an already stressed demographic. Consider this: what alternatives could have been proposed instead of this approach? Some experts suggest that a more graduated system, taking into account individual circumstances and total income, might have been a fairer solution. Others argue that the entire pension system needs a complete overhaul rather than piecemeal changes. The timing of these changes is particularly significant, with inflation rates fluctuating and the cost of living continuing to rise. Many pensioners are already struggling to maintain their standard of living. The question arises: is this the right time to implement such significant changes to pension calculations? The international perspective is also worth considering. How do other developed nations handle their pension systems? And what could the UK learn from their approaches? Countries like Norway and the Netherlands have different models that might offer valuable insights for creating a more sustainable and fair system. For those approaching retirement age, these changes could necessitate a complete reassessment of their financial planning. What steps can people take now to prepare for these potential changes? Financial advisors suggest several strategies, including: the importance of building additional retirement savings has never been more critical. But this raises another question: How can current workers ensure they're adequately prepared for retirement under these new circumstances? The answer might lie in a combination of increased private pension contributions, diversified investments, and careful financial planning. While the changes may seem daunting, there are ways to mitigate their impact. Understanding your options and planning accordingly is crucial. What can current pensioners do to protect their financial security? From budgeting adjustments to exploring additional income sources, there are various strategies worth considering. For those still in the workforce, this situation serves as a wake-up call about the importance of diverse retirement planning. How can you ensure your retirement isn't solely dependent on state pension provisions? Building a robust private pension, investing wisely, and considering alternative retirement income sources have become more important than ever. Looking ahead, what does this mean for the future of state pensions in the UK? Will these changes set a precedent for further modifications to the pension system? The answers to these questions will likely unfold over the coming years. But one thing is clear: the landscape of retirement planning is changing significantly. The role of political decisions in shaping retirement security has never been more evident. This raises a final important question: how can citizens ensure their voices are heard in discussions about pension policy? Engagement with local representatives and staying informed about proposed changes becomes increasingly crucial. As we've explored today, the impact of Labour's retirement tax extends far beyond simple numbers on a page. It represents a fundamental shift in how we approach retirement security in the UK. The changes will affect not just current pensioners but could reshape retirement planning for generations to come. Remember, staying informed and taking proactive steps to secure your financial future is crucial. Whether you're currently retired, approaching retirement, or still in the early stages of your career, understanding these changes and adjusting your plans accordingly is essential. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to like this video and share it with friends and family who might be affected by these changes. Subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of financial policies and retirement planning strategies. Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments below. What do you think about these proposed changes? How will they affect you or your loved ones? Let's continue this important conversation together. Thanks for watching, and remember, when it comes to your retirement security, knowledge and preparation are your best defenses. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll explore practical strategies for building a secure retirement in these changing times. Until then, take care and keep planning for your future.